Hello, this is Jeff Motes, and this is the long-awaited second economic report for Managerial Economics, and it is July 29th, 2013. I selected an article from The Economist. It didn't have an author, but it was titled "The Unsteady States of America. It is not just Detroit. American cities and states must promise less or face disaster." This, of course, is about the recent Detroit bankruptcy, or attempted bankruptcy. The author seems to believe that America is in a state of denial about the Detroit filing for bankruptcy. And they believe it's sort of an exceptional case, even though it's been happening, quite a bit in the Eurozone. It used to be the fourth most populous city, and the debts that Detroit racked up when it was, rich, are unpayable now that, its population has fallen by over 60% since 1950. The author goes on to say that the largest piece of the debt, over 50% actually, is pensions for retiring municipal workers, city workers. He also makes some assumptions that these came from over-promising politicians that wanted to get into office, so they started making promises in order to do that, and when it came time to pay, they basically put Detroit's future on the line. Now, this may not seem like an article that applies so much to what we've been studying in the book, but the economic significance of this is more philosophic or theoretical in nature. I enjoy thinking about different situations or dilemmas that people can be put in and make decisions through. And really, that's what economists call game theory. And game theory is primarily concerned with the general analysis of strategic interaction. This specific article, a great example of it would be the prisoner's dilemma. I've listed out on a chart here where each politician has an opportunity to either offer higher pensions to potential voting blocs or offer no pensions. And the prisoner's dilemma usually results in what's called a Nash equilibrium, where the individual interests of the parties really result in a negative overall impact. So as you can see here, in 75% of the results, no matter what, it results in a definite deficit. Only in 25%, where neither candidate offers pensions, would it result in no deficit. And because they know what the other is going to do, they always end up in the top left-hand corner, the Nash equilibrium, which is both end up offering higher pensions, neither gain an advantage in winning the overall election, and each are bound by offering those pensions, and therefore a budget deficit in this example. In summary, and really what I find very interesting about this is that in the prisoner's dilemma and in the example of Detroit, the individual incentives for politicians have led to a negative equilibrium. Eventually, the downfall of one of America's greatest cities, the automotive industry city. And I think that's primarily due to the second bullet point there, which is short-term competition will generally result in a prisoner's dilemma. If there are repeated interactions between competitors, they eventually learn that there is a better way to do business, or a better way to compete, and where both entities can win, or in this case, the voter can actually win. Unfortunately, in our system of government, in our limited terms, we're constantly voting for new people to go in, and therefore more and more short-term promises are being made. It's an inevitable result. So the bottom line is the author says that we must learn from the competition and eventually coordinate rather than compete. Actually, I'm sort of putting those words in his mouth. He says it in not so few of words. But that is the economic report, the second economic report for Managerial Economics. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.